开始。
Merlin sat up a little straighter, eagerly watching the knights as they guided their horses towards the castle gates. Men and women welcomed them home, and Merlin couldn't help thinking that he'd like to be a knight, to be loved by so many instead of feared and sometimes hated. But they were no longer following the knights. "What's happening?" Merlin demanded. "Where are we going?" "To see King Vortigern," came the reply. "But shouldn't we be going to the castle?" "Why, King Vortigern isn't there." "But where is he?" "Up there." The tattooed hand pointed to the top of an enormous mountain. Merlin stared, taking in the sight. He had no idea how they were going to get up there. It looked too dangerous for travel. But the men's horse seemed to have no trouble with the rocky ground under its hooves. It plodded onwards, following a well-worn path up the mountain. After a while, Merlin summoned up the courage to look back and saw the castle far below. Inside the courtyard, he could make out fires burning and shadows moving. No doubt everyone was celebrating the knight's return. He wished he was among them. When they eventually reached the top, Merlin gasped. A huge fire pit cast everything in a warm orange glow. Rocks and tools littered the ground, and wooden carts lay abandoned as exhausted-looking men sat around the fire eating and talking in low voices. To one side, equally weary cart horses stood nibbling at what little grass or shrubs they could find. Most of the men stopped what they were doing and began nudging and whispering to each other when they caught sight of Merlin. Two knights wearing the king's coat of arms stepped forward, then didn't seem to know what to do. After eyeing Merlin curiously, one of them turned and disappeared into the darkness beyond the firelight. "Dismount," the hooded man instructed. Merlin did as he was told, struggling to get off the horse and landing clumsily on his feet. A moment later, and far more gracefully, the hooded man joined them. "What is this place?" Joined him. "What is this place?" Merlin asked as the horse was led away. He gazed around in wonder while the hooded man cut the rope at his wrists. Never had he seen anything like this before. The crumbling remnants of the towers were huge, looming over him in the darkness like stone giants. "It is my stronghold," a deep, rumbling voice declared. Merlin turned to find a tall, broad man with a beard making his way towards him. A movement to the left drew his attention to the fact that The men who had been sitting around the fire were now kneeling, bowing their heads. Then the hooded man bowed his head also.